The difference at the highest level is so small that the moment you run into someone, whatever level it is, you run into someone that's as good as you or a little bit better than you, you don't have time to start doing it differently and catch up because there's so many people that are so close to you. But here's the second thing I wanted to share with you about how to train different. The second one is deliberate practice. And actually, I gotta ask Kyle this one again. All right, so Kyle, you've worked out on your own. I don't know if we can call it worked out. You shot around on your own in a driveway before, okay? But I'm sure you trained harder on your own through college, right? Yeah. And you've also been trained by trainers before, right?
Yeah.
So what would you say is the biggest difference between training that you did on your own and training that you would do with a trainer?
Yeah, probably number one, when I was with a trainer, they always would push me a little bit harder than I typically push myself. They coached me more than I would coach myself. And there was a lot more conversation than there was just shooting or just
doing something.
Yeah,
that's really good. So I'm gonna try to highlight something I think Kyle dug into here, and I'll ask all of you athletes and coaches on the call right now, just do a self check. On average, I want you to answer this one.
Yep.
On average, when training with a trainer or watching an athlete being trained by a trainer, how many times per training session, let's say it's an hour-long training session, how many times per training session will the trainer or coach stop the player and provide correction? Think about your answer, drop your number into the chat box. How many times per hour will the trainer stop the athlete and provide correction? So before you answer, Kyle, let's read a couple of these.
Okay.
120, a lot, 5, too many. Health. I have like 1,000.
75.
Okay,
50.
Constantly. All right, so here it is. I think we can agree more than 0. I think we can agree more than 0. And obviously, as coaches and as athletes, we can debate. Maybe that'd be a great debate on a future peak episode. How much is too much, or how little is too little? That's a lot of zeros. I'm not seeing any decimal points. All right, Kyle, in your experience.
Yeah, I'd say with a 1 hour session.
Yeah.
25 times. 25
times. All right. Now that falls right into the range. All right. So here's the follow-up question. When watching an athlete or when you are training on your own, and Kyle, you can answer this as well, how many times do athletes training on their own stop themselves mid-training session, correct a technical error, and then deliberately and slowly fix it and evaluate it? Kyle, what would your honest answer be on that? Maybe when you were like, college, Division I and Division II college player.
I would say high school was probably maximum 1 to 2. Yep. College was probably an hour workout, maybe 5 times.
Maybe 5 times. Yeah. Absolutely. And so this is what deliberate practice is. I'm so glad the best do this. I had the opportunity to watch Steve Nash train himself. He just had a rebounder train himself. This was probably in 2006 or 7. And what blew my mind, and it was really what changed my mind about training different with deliberate practice, is he was on his own and he constantly stopped himself, visually looked at his positions, checked for blind spots. He did perfect, super slow motion, deliberate reps so that he could encode the successful movement into his body first before he tried to do it fast. Because when we add speed, we tend to create errors. And we all know, like, oh yeah, work so hard until you lose the ball. Good. Yes, good, but not great. I got to repeat that. Like, going so hard that you make mistakes is good, but it's not great. What's great is push yourself till you make a mistake. Stop. Provide correction or correct yourself. Do it as slow as necessary to do it perfectly, and then add speed and intensity until you make a mistake and stop. And what so much research has done, whether it be Daniel Coyle's The Talent Code or Doug Lemob's Practice Perfect, encoding success in deliberate practice actually accelerates learning and improvement. That's training different. That's 1%. That's 5%. That's the difference between you and that person that's just as good as you at the highest levels in the moment. So here it is, last one. And it's an approach. It's an approach to training different, because Kyle would shoot on his own. Kyle, Tyler, every one of us, we would shoot or train on our own until we felt like going in. And, you know, in the midst of a shooting workout, we didn't really care that much about each individual repetition because we were just shooting around. And here's the third way to train different: pound the stone. The third way to train different is pound the stone. And here's what I mean. When a stone carver is carving a stone, it might take 1,000 strikes with the chisel and hammer before that slab of stone shears off and exposes the shape that the stone carving was. It might take 1,000. Now, the natural predisposition of most athletes, most of us, most basketball players, is when we hit that final strike, when we get that bucket, when we get that scholarship, when we achieve whatever, we think that's the moment where we had the breakthrough. False. False, false, false. The first strike of the 1,000 was just as important as the 1,000th strike, every single one. And if we are just waiting for that slab to fall off or that breakthrough to happen, then we're not pounding the stone with enough energy, effort, intensity, deliberation, or precision. If we value all 1,000 strikes, each pound of the stone, as everyone is equal getting us to where we go, here's what I guarantee. You're going to probably shoot a little bit longer in your driveway. You're probably going to stop yourself a little bit more and correct it and care a little bit more. That is training different. And here's the cumulative effect of all these little things about training different. If you apply these 3 things that we talked to today and on whatever you did, you are already better than nearly everyone out there. And over time, as you pound the stone with deliberate practice and go with a plan, you're different. And if you're different long enough, eventually you're going to be better. And that's how you train different. Gosh, I feel like I need to snap right now.
Yep, this is Macklemore.
And this is The Rock Johnson. And we're signing out. And thanks for spending this time with us. We'll see you next time.